Welcome to National Black Movie Day, and thank you for joining our virtual celebration of Black films. I'm Agnes Moss, President and founder of the National Black Movie Association. National Black Movie Day is one day out of the year, but we celebrate Black culture and stories on screen all year long. And I know you may be asking, what's the big deal with Black films? Well, it's how our stories are amplified on the big screen. The world sees our stories and shares our culture and experiences through film. Black films have been in existence for over a century, and it's up to us to support those who tell our stories our way. Now, the Real HBCU Challenge is a program that the National Black Movie Association created to support the legacy of Black filmmakers. The program seeks to support and showcase filmmakers attending historically Black colleges and universities. I want to thank you for your contributions. Because of your donations, we are able to increase our scholarship amount this year from $2,500 to $3,000. Great things happen when we pool our resources together. I want to introduce this year's Real HBCU winner. She is a Howard University student, but first, let's watch a clip of her submission, Wake Up.
Tyson Drew.
That's what I thought. Who do you think you are posting all that protest off my Twitter page, huh?
I was educating you about the Black Lives Matter movement. The purpose of it all is to build a community liberating Black people from any source of oppression.
Educating me?
Yeah.
You're mighty funny, all right? My dad pays $40,000 a year for my education.
That explains a lot.
And now, our Real HBCU winner, Alana Smith. Hi, Alana.
Hi, Miss Agnes. How are you today?
I'm good. Congratulations on your win, the Real HBCU Challenge winner for 2021. Congratulations. Can you tell us a little bit about your background and why you've chosen filmmaking as a career?
Yes, so again, my name is Alana. I'm a freshman TV film major at Howard University from Sacramento, California. Initially, I went to Natomas Charter School Performing Fine Arts Academy, which is where I found my passion for acting. And so acting led to filmmaking. And, before I was cast as a lead character for this stage theatrical production called Trigger. And Trigger focused on, the urban experience the youth urban experience in America, focusing on the social and health disparities that they experience while living in toxic environments. And so with my character Promise, she's in this coma. She creates these different characters who are experiencing mental illnesses. And so that was an eye-opening experience and a great opportunity for me to, tour around California and spread awareness about mental health, right? And so with filmmaking, I've learned that I want to be in creative control of my career and my creative journey. And so through the art of storytelling, I want to, expose people to different walks of life, the problems that are plaguing our society, and as well as provide inspiration. And so I will use my lens to tell those marginalized stories, to educate the masses, elevate our differences and embrace the connectedness. And with filmmaking, it's a process. And so with writing, directing, producing, I want to show the Black spectrum with different shapes, sizes and colors and identities, because, it's important that we see ourselves on screen.
I like how your films address social causes. And I just want to ask, in regards to your short film submission, Wake Up, what inspired you to write, direct, and produce that film?
Yes, so as you know, last year in 2020, it was the rise of racism. That year showed us we're suffering from two pandemics, not just coronavirus, but also racism. And I was infuriated yet inspired to use my voice to speak my truth about what it's like seeing my people still being killed in broad daylight. And so I believe with Wake Up, you know, it's important for me to show how even Black children are encountering racial bias during an early stage of their lives. You know, Black youth should be able to live innocently, but unfortunately with Wake Up, I had to reveal the hard truth that it's not the case. And we still have to survive in this world, combating racial bias. And so again, I just want to spread that awareness, you know, and to encourage youth to advocate for social justice.
I see. And how important was it for you to attend a historically Black college or university like Howard? How important was that?
It was very important because ever since I was little, my parents emphasized the importance of attending HBCU, specifically Howard, since they're alumni. And, you know, they told me there's no experience like the HBCU experience. You know, I have my whole life to be a minority, but right now is opportunity for me to be the majority, for me to be surrounded by people who look like me, who are like-minded. And I just truly believe Howard is an environment that will enrich my artistry and just a place where I would create lifelong relationships and memories, and just be inspired by people, you know, and become a better version of myself. So, yes.
Well, Alana, I'm sure we're going to hear great things from you in the future. Congratulations again on your win, Alana. Happy National Black Movie Day. But before you go, I just want to make sure we can see your latest work and stay in touch. How can we keep in touch with you?
Yes, and I just want to say thank you so much to National Black Movie Association for investing in me and my future. And you guys can reach and follow me on all my social medias, you know, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at Alana Smith, and visit my website to see my upcoming work portfolio and book me at www.alanaismith.com.
Good to see you, Alana. Take care.
All right, you too.
Up next, we have interviews with surprise guests from Coming to America, which airs on March 5th on Amazon Prime. Our host for the evening is Russ Parr. You may know him as a Radio 1 personality, but he's also a filmmaker. Hi, Russ. Happy National Black Movie Day. How are you?
I'm fine. How about yourself?
I'm good. I am so excited to see this film, and not to date myself, but I have been waiting a long time for this. I remember and when I first saw Coming to America, and just the things that, you know, resonated with me in the film. I guess, you know, the Jerry curl, for one, the stain.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I had a Jerry curl that took all my hair out. So because I'm from Los Angeles, and if you didn't have the Jerry curl in Los Angeles, you weren't original Los Angelinos. That's the problem.
I know what you mean. On a secret note, I had one too.
All right.
And it took all my hair out. But I am so excited for this, and I can't wait to see who you have as our surprise guest. But I won't reveal any secrets yet. I'll let you do that.
All right.
But I'm excited and just can't wait to hear it.
All right. Well, can I reveal him now?
You can.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, my secret guest is none other than Arsenio Hall. Arsenio.
Hey, Russ, is that Agnes? Oh yeah, hey y'all. How you doing? You know, I hate to be the surprise guest because all the people are sitting like this and it's like, oh, it's not Eddie. But you know, there's some people saying, I hope it's Eddie or his daughter. They're both in the, and unfortunately, it's me, y'all. Hey, Russ.
It's great to have you because you know what? I'm an LA guy, and I remember back in the day, I used to try to do stand-up comedy. You were good. I wasn't. I went into radio. That's why I used to stand in line outside of the belly room at 2 o'clock in the morning on Saturday night to get a minute and a half, and I'd peek through the door, and there you up on stage killing it. And after you got through doing your set, I just turned around and went back home. I'm like, I'm not going behind that dude.
Let me give the folks a little context for that. The belly room was the small room at the Comedy Store that only held like 60 people, but it was a great workout room. And back then, no one wanted to go there because it meant you were new or you sucked or whatever. But here's the interesting thing. The belly room now has blown up because Chappelle did a special in it. One of his specials is in that little room.
Yeah.
And now everybody wants to be in the Russ Parr belly room.
No, we renamed it and everything. That's a beautiful thing. No, man, we go way back. I remember
one more
the first
thing.
time I interviewed you.
Hey, Russ, one more thing. You all were talking about Jerry curls.
Yeah.
Oh my God, weren't Jerry curls amazing? And I
Yes.
had Jerry curl until last night, but I put Gorilla Glue in it and messed it all up.
Hilarious. I used to have all that good Fred oil, and there was oil everywhere. That's why I could relate so much to the first Coming to America. I saw the movie. You look incredible, Arsenio. You haven't aged. I know you're a dad now, and I think a lot of things have changed. I don't. To get it back into this character, Sammy, did you have to draw on anything else, or you just pulled back from 30 years ago, the same guy, and said, "Let me put that in it"?
You know what? I don't like to use tired cliches, but we all use that bicycle cliche of it's like getting back on a bicycle. This truly is like getting back on a bicycle. And I want to give a shout out to Ruth E. Carter, because once Ruth puts you in the wardrobe, and once your guys throw that plastic on your face, it becomes automatic, you know?
Yeah.
And it just kind of happens. Once I look in the mirror, I know, oh, that barber voice just comes out. I can't even talk like Arsenio when I'm in the barber makeup.
That's amazing. How long did you have to sit for that makeup?
The barber, I think, is like 4 hours, but there's a new character I do. Eddie calls him a witch doctor, and he's 100 years old. That one is a 6-hour job where they change your eyes, they change your teeth.
Arsenio, I didn't know that was you. I didn't know that was you.
Yeah, that's me, man.
I was thinking it was Eddie.
Yeah, you know what? Also, Ruth did something really cool. She gave him a robe so I could buckle my knees and bend down a little bit and be a little shorter. So when I'm standing next to Jermaine and different people, it seems like it can't be me because Simi's taller than that. You
know what? Comedians, I've directed quite a few films and TV shows and things like that. But comedians,
I'm sorry, Russ, but thanks for calling me and putting me in one of them. Thanks.
Well, you didn't do well at the auditions. We tried to do a callback, but your people didn't call my people, so that's how that worked. But the thing is that I find that comedians are the best actors. I mean, if you really go back, a lot of guys that you were on stage with back in the day, Robin Williams and all these guys, and like you killed that role as that little witch doctor because I didn't know it was Arsenio. And that tells me right then and there, this dude, I mean, you're a special actor. Everything you've been in, from Harlem Nights to Coming to America. I mean, you've done just an incredible job. You're very believable once you get into those characters. And that's why, I look at the Semi character and I'm wondering how much of that is really you?
The Semi character is not a lot of me because I'm one of those guys who's by the book. I'm like, hey, well, don't jaywalk. I'm that guy. And I'm a dad. Yeah. Semi, I think James Earl Jones, when he came to America in the first one and he choked me and he told me, you were supposed to look after Akeem. That's my job. I'm the royal assistant. Yeah. Prince who's about my age. So instead of being royal, sometimes I'm like, yo, man, you the prince. We could get laid, and I met a girl who has some herb and all those kinds. So I'm that guy that your parents always said, I wish you wouldn't hang out with that boy.
Right. One of the things that after I watched Coming to America too, I said, we need that right now, man. We need that right now. For years, everybody's always doing memes from the first Coming to America, quoting lines, doing the Reverend and the whole nine. But right now, with what we're going through, it's kind of important that we're able to laugh. And I enjoy it was like a weight was lifted off of me after I watched it because I was looking forward to it. I know I've directed a couple of people that are in that movie that they were telling me, it's coming, Russ, it's coming. I'm like, oh man. But after watching it, I was like, yes, we need it. A wonderful story, well acted, beautifully shot, well directed. Did you guys have to go to Africa at all, or did you shoot it basically in the States?
Well, first of all, I consider Atlanta a part of Africa. As a matter of fact, Atlanta is blacker than Africa. So, so I want to add that. But by the way, I want to ask you a question. I want to answer your question and ask you a question because the interviewer is curious. Your question, wait, give me your first question again.
Well, the first question was how much of you were like semi. The second is that, you know, did you guys have to go to Africa to shoot any of these scenes?
Yeah. Oh, and you also talked about these current times. I think that's what sparked something.
Right.
I don't want to make a movie more important than it is because we're living some crazy times. We have people in food lines. A movie is a movie. But, you know, I don't have Bezos's money and I'm not a doctor, so there's not much I can do for anybody, but God put me here to write jokes and make people laugh.
Yes.
And I'm so glad that March 5th, I'll be able to say I contributed to a person's day. I hope I can make someone smile because that's what I do. And you're right, we really do need it. Now, the question I want to ask you is you said something else that clicked in my head. When you watched it, were you one of the people watching it thinking, that's my movie? I grew up with that. I hope they don't fuck it up.
Well, I say on the radio all the time,
that's what I should say.
You cannot mess with a classic, okay? You can't mess with it. But what you guys did with this movie, you blended some of the stuff from yesteryear that captured me and made me a big fan of the first one. You blended it with this movie, with the storyline, which I thought was fantastically done. It was phenomenal how you did it, how you guys wove it in. And the characters were seamless. I couldn't get enough. When it ended, I wanted more. That's why you guys have to do Coming to America 3, but let's not go there right now. But I wanted more. So what you guys did, and I guess...
Russ, by the way, Coming to America 3 is just a funeral. And my barber will be in a casket with a plate of greens.
Yeah. But I have to tell you, man, it's just that when you're able to blend all that together, and I was concerned. I was concerned that, okay, you're doing a classic, dudes. You guys can't come half-stepping, and you didn't. You didn't.
Thank you, Russ.
Everybody has to watch this movie.
We were aware of, you know, I would be either on Twitter or sometimes in a mall, and people would say things to me like, don't mess up my movie. I hear y'all gonna do the second one. You know, people would say stuff. So I knew that kind of thought was out there. And
well, there's no worries, Arsenio. No worries, because you guys accomplished more than I anticipated. I didn't go in. I want to keep it real with you. I didn't go in with high expectations because I know what happens when you do a sequel. When it was done, turned to my wife, I turned to my son. I said, "What y'all think?" And we all said, "Wonderful, wonderful."
Hey.
It's satisfied waiting 30 years.
Oh, that you have
and
no idea.
I'm not stroking.
Music to my ear.
No, I'm telling you right now, it's going to be a big, huge success. We know that. And you're going to have your critics. But I thought the costuming, I looked at, I talked to Linnell a couple of weeks ago, and she was telling me, you know, Russ, some of these dresses weighed 80 pounds. Mm-hmm. I said, wow. And I know which one it was. Yeah, the hair and all that was. But just to see the costuming, and when you throw in with the cinematography, but I got to tell you something. Wesley Snipes.
Dude.
Oh my God.
Wesley Snipes made me say, you know what? First of all, he's a genius. For anybody wondering where we're going with this, he's a genius. But every day he makes you come to work and step up your game, dog. He is such, and by the way, don't forget him and Eddie did Dolomite. He's brilliant in that.
Yes.
I knew the guy he was playing. What he brought to that role was amazing. Wesley is the truth, man. I know we've used that nickname for a boxer in the past, but he's Wesley the Truth. Snipes. He was so good. And I love having him there because he's like, you know, when Magic Johnson would come on the court, he would raise the opponent's game. And that's what Wes does.
He brought that to the table. I'm going to tell everybody right now.
One more thing, Russ, I got to throw this out. Shout out to Craig Brewer, who had a tremendous weight on his shoulders because he had to follow the great John Landis. And he has such respect for the culture and he's such an intelligent man. He did a great job. Now he's side by side with Eddie and Kenya Barris. Now, Kenya, the creator of everything with Ish at the end.
Right.
You know, he was wonderful. And what he brought to it was, we had the story, but Kenya brought a current pin to it. Right now, there's nothing that's more important than America learning to treat women better. You know what we're going through from the great Bill Cosby on the comedy stage to Harvey Weinstein. We've seen some crazy things, but the crazy things have made us better. And I love that they included the element of stuff must change.
Yes.
And in this movie, I don't know if I'm giving it away and I shouldn't say this, but we have opinions about where women belong and all that ish must change.
And that's what I loved about the story, and it being National Black Movie Day, the storyline, without giving it away, you addressed that. And I think it was so welcomed because I have a daughter and I want her to feel like she's an equal. And I think and you guys addressed that and you did it in such a way. And as a writer, I saw it coming, but I don't think the average person would see it coming. And that's what I liked about it. I like the surprises. Tons of surprises in this movie. A lot of surprises. I'm not allowed to reveal any of them. I'm not going to do that. This movie was
let's just tell America this. There are some surprises that might be on your Spotify list.
Okay, we'll do that. Because when the movie's over, do not turn it off. Let me just put it to you like that. Do not turn it off.
And you know, and I'll give you another hint. One more hint about the end of it. And I'll just say outtakes. Watch the outtakes because you'll see Eddie Murphy is not a stunt man.
No.
And when you do a stunt with Eddie, you might get kicked.
Yes. Arsenio, I'm not going to reveal it, but I cried. I cried because you could hear it land. Let me just leave it right there. So that alone, man, it'll keep you through the credits. One of the other things is that the young brother that played Eddie's son, A Star Is Born.
Yes.
A Star Is Born. Did he come to you as a veteran? And do you work? Because I know some actors, man, I ain't trying to mess with it. I ain't got time for that. I'm focused on myself. Is he one of those kind of actors that came to you and like wanted to draw some information from you? Because a lot of old heads sometimes, man, I ain't got time for that. You should have came here prepared. Was he one of those kind of guys that was thirsty?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He was thirsty. He's a very special kid. I hope you get to, and I shouldn't say kid, but I'm so old.
Yeah, me too.
He's a very special young man. I hope you get to interview him and I hope you get to get time with him because first of all, I had known him because he's friends with one of Eddie's kids. And so I had seen him around the house when I was visiting years ago. And the reason I remember him, he's a stand-up comic and he has a twin brother. So there are times if you're rolling around New York, you'll think you see him. And it's like, man, I saw you at Catch a Rising Star last night. You were hilarious. And he'll look at you like out of your damn mind because Jermaine Fowler has a twin who is not a stand-up. So I knew of this kid and he came in the audition and crushed it.
Really?
I mean, he crushed it. So ask him about his audition too, because it's a wonderful story.
And I have to ask you, you know, you can see the respect between Eddie and Wesley. One thing I love about Eddie as an actor is like, we know how funny Eddie is. He can do a million characters as you do too. But Eddie doesn't mind stepping back and letting you have your moment on the screen.
Oh, Russ, let me stop you right there. The Wesley character was written for Eddie to do so that Eddie plays against Eddie.
Right.
And one day Craig says, You know, there's something about Wesley that's funny and menacing. Wesley can make you laugh, but at the same time, you know, he could kick your ass too.
Right.
And he said, I think that quality would be great for General Izzy.
Yeah.
And that's how that began.
Wow.
So Eddie not only is what you say he is, but he looked at Craig Brewer and said, you know, you're right. See if he's available. And I think Wesley now is going from this movie to playing Kevin Hart's brother in a movie. So he has truly...
I wasn't ready for the comedic timing of Wesley's. I wasn't ready for it. That's why it worked. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Arsenio, I sat there, and when he come walk into just to walk into the room, we were all on the floor.
Yeah.
It was, and he was consistent. I mean, I could just talk hours about him, but there were so many things, man, when you brought back some of the old characters. The Reverend, I mean, we're sitting there waiting. Is he going to show up? Is he going to show up? And he did. Everybody's there, guys. I want everybody to know everything that you've been waiting for the last 30 years is in Coming to America too. Everything is there. And I just want to say, man, watching you and Eddie, you guys have worked together for years and years. Does there ever come a time that he just gets on your nerves and that you just have to tell him what time it is?
Oh yeah, because in real life, we're like these two guys who are friends, and he's not the prince, even though he's the king of comedy. He's not the prince. And Eddie and I are just like you and your friend. Mm-hmm. You know, every now and then it's like, no, man, that's wrong. That's wrong. Patrick Mahomes did this last year, dog. You know what I mean? We're just regular guys, you know? Yeah,
yeah. Well, I want to say, man, that in wrapping this up, you're comedic gold. There's a reason why everybody loves Arsenio Hall and Eddie. And it's not just this movie. You guys keep delivering just stellar performances. It makes me proud to watch a great Black film and get a message from it, get a love story from it, be able to laugh at it, to look at the cinematography. There were no corners cut. This was a phenomenal film, and I highly recommend. I'm just Russ Parr, so nobody gives a damn what I have to say, but I highly recommend this film.
Wow. Thank you, dude. You got me geeked up now. I'm not doing no more interviews. I'm going home. I know when to call the game, dog. I'm going home.
Well, next time I'm going to have you come audition, and as long as you can work for scale, Arsenio, you're in.
Hey, man, I'm sitting there listening to you compliment me, and I'm like, now watch this brother direct another movie and call Wesley instead of me.
I won't do it to you, brother. It's great talking to you, man. It's good to see you, too. You look great.
Hey, God bless you and Agnes of God.
Thank you. I love the interview. That was so powerful. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank
I'll
you.
see y'all soon. Hey, Russ, we're going to do stand-up soon, man. So when we come your way, give us a shout out.
I got you, man. I got you. Whatever you need, I got you, man.
Actually, everybody in this movie is a stand-up, from Leslie, to Jermaine, to Michael Blackson.
Yep.
We want to go on the road, and we think we got a name for the tour, Coming All Over America.
I love it. It's perfect. I can see that the t-shirt's a big splat. And never mind.
Russ, I'm going to get you fired. You better stop.
You're hilarious, man. All right, Arsenio, good talking with you, bro.
God bless y'all.
All right, thank you, man.
Bye. That was such a great interview. Thanks, Russ. Wonderful interview. It's so great to see Arsenio Hall back again. It was funny. Up next, we have another Radio 1 host, Asia. She is interviewing another surprise guest from Coming to America. So let's check it out and see who it is. Hi, Asia. I remember Prince Akeem being the new heir to the throne, right? And so now we're ushering in a whole new generation of royalty, and I'm here for it. So tell us, who's up next? Who's our next guest from Coming to America?
So up next, we have comedian extraordinaire. He is a DC native, and you all know him as Jermaine Fowler. Jermaine, what's going on? What's going on?
I'm great. I'm feeling really good and having a great day. How are you?
I'm good. I haven't seen you since like the Image Awards. I was like, he sat next to me like the whole time. So it's good to see you again.
Good to see you. You look great. You both look great.
Thank you.
Very well.
I'm loving the hair. I'm like, okay, you got the blonde hair going. I'm
I
loving
like your hair. What are you talking about?
I love it. I said I like it. I'm giving you a compliment.
I like your hair too. It looks awesome.
Thank you. All right, so we're here, of course, today to celebrate National Black Movie Day and to celebrate, Black stories like Coming to America. And I know this is like a huge, huge moment for you. I know that like being in this moment, how do you feel about, bringing your role or having a role like this in a film that inspires so many Black filmmakers?
Wow. One, like you said, the movie has opened doors for. It was nothing like it before, and still nothing like it afterwards. It's just set such a precedent, and think about the cast that was a part of it. It's the first of so many things. And to be a part of that history, that lineage, I feel it's unreal. Like it feels so unreal. I'm just super like excited that people get to see how much the story has expanded since the first one, and like how the characters have developed and progressed. It's a beautiful extent. I think it's the perfect sequel, and I think it was done at the right time.
Okay, absolutely. I mean, this movie has been a part of everybody's life. I mean, I remember, I still know lines verbatim to this day. You know what I mean? It's like it's Black culture at its best. So I mean, like circa 1988. How excited were you to see this get picked up 32 years later?
I was born when it came out. So I wasn't in a theater, I was in someone's stomach, right? And I remember when I was a kid, it was on our TV every day. Like they would just pop in the VHS and it was always on. So like that was just a movie that was always in my house. And I finally got to watch it, right? And the scenes that stick with me, like you said, I think it's the most quotable movie of all time, period. And
absolutely. It
is. And with me, like the barbershop scenes have always stuck with me. Clarence is always just the funniest character to me. I just think about him. I've just been around so many old Black dudes. They just all, so that's that. And I just seeing Eddie reprise these characters and seeing like they're basically Clarence is basically a time capsule, and him kind of like just kind of catch us up with everything he's kind of seen and done in those years since the first one.
Right.
Hilarious, man. It's just comedy gold, man. Yeah, 2 years, all that. And he's still alive. Like, he's still alive. He's supposed to be like, what, 100 years old or something like that by now? I think it's a funny.
It's a 10, absolutely.
Yeah.
Super excited about everything. I mean, again, this movie just exudes Black culture. And so like with so much like this movie and what it means so much to so many people, what new aspects of Black culture do you think this film will share with the world this go around? I
feel like what was so important with this film is the representation. We once again, Zamunda is a huge part of this film. The original Queen, this one is Zamunda. So what was important was that we had folks like Ruth E. Carter come in and really like, do her thing with the wardrobe and really add those layers to really tell that story. Everything in this movie has told a story, from the wardrobe to the set design. Everything kind of it coincides. It's a beautiful marriage. Every department did their thing, and what was dope is that like I think they did an even better job with integration of African culture. The knowledge and the care they took with every garment and every Fatima came in and she helped choreograph all the dance moves, and like they all just feel so authentic and real and truthful. I feel like it's gonna be even Blacker than the first one.
How is that possible?
We shot it in Atlanta. We shot Africa in Atlanta. You don't get Blacker than that. So there's that.
You can't.
Nah, not at all. You can smell the Africa in the screen. You can smell it.
Just in the air.
Yeah, man, Africa smells so good. I truly think that not only that, like the comedy is a big important part of this film, but the drama too. I feel like there's a lot of emotion in this film, and I feel like what's happening with Black culture today. I love that we are embracing mental health and
Right.
contextualizing trauma and pain and stuff. And with this Black kid, Bell, he hasn't known his dad growing up, and a lot of people can see that as a stereotype. And in some ways, it can be seen that way, but it's still a reality for a lot of people. You know what I mean? It's still a reality. It's still real. You know. And I think what Eddie did so well was like, he took a lot of care and put his hands on a lot. He was very hands-on with telling that story in a very real way. And what I wanted to bring was just more humanity to that role. And I didn't want him to seem like just, a statistic. He still had these dreams and these aspirations to want something bigger. And we all do. And the theme in this movie that really hits home for me is purpose.
Right.
Always purpose. And you think about it, we're all kind of going through that crisis right now. We're all trying to figure out what our purpose is in life, whether, you're at home all day trying to figure out if you lost your job, trying to figure out what you're going to do next, And I think Lavelle is definitely trying to figure out what his purpose was until he meets his long lost dad. And he thinks, he finds it out, but like he sees that as a vacation, and his newfound, royalty over in Zamunda. He sees that as a vacation instead of a responsibility. And it isn't until he meets, Marimbe and starts to embrace his family, and Queens for that matter, it isn't until that he starts to realize, oh, he has a duty to uphold and people to represent. And I think I think we can all kind of like, relate.
Understand that.
Yeah, definitely.
A little bit.
Definitely.
Absolutely. How do you feel that the movie kind of bridges the gap between the first generation that watched it, 32 years ago versus everybody today?
Word. That's the beauty about why I think people, of course I wanted this movie to come out in theaters. I think we all wanted to see it in theater.
On big screen.
Yeah, we all grew up in theaters. I did. I missed the theater. However, things happen for a reason. Things we can't control happen for a reason. And there's a reason why we're watching this we're gonna have to watch this at home with our families we've been at home with for the past year. And I think it's gonna be beautiful to see older generations embrace this movie with younger generations and tell them where they were when the first one was out, how they felt it made them feel, because we had Black Panther, right?
Right.
And that was the movie, like, the millennials and generation, Z, I feel like connected to on like this is, but before that was Coming to America. It was
Absolutely
America. And I think there are a couple correlations we make in the film as far as jokes go with that. And what I want is for generations to embrace that undying love we have for these type of moments, like the moments that made us feel heard and feel represented. And Coming to America was that for 88. And this new one, I think people are going to really like the things we talk about in this film. I think are very relevant today as far as females being overlooked because of their sex. Yeah, and I think fathers are going to see that. I'm a dad. I have a daughter, and I think parents are finally. They have no choice but to really hear their kids out these days, man, because of social media, and really like, understand what is really an issue in the world. But, we couldn't do that without the doors that were open with, from the older generation. And I think that's what Coming to America did for this newer generation. So I really feel like there's just so many correlations we can appreciate with this new film and the original, man. There's just so much there. There's just so much there.
Okay. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing the passion. I see you have such love and passion behind you, when you talk about it. So I can't wait to see what your character does on screen. And you touch base a little bit about your character. Just tell us just a little bit more without spilling all of the tea. Okay. Tell us who exactly Lavelle is.
I definitely. So without giving away too much, Lavelle Johnson with the U. Lavelle Johnson, he's a dude who's never really grown up with much. He's had his mom and his uncles and his family to support him, but he's still he kind of aspired for more. but had to fight for everything. And every time he's walked through a door, he's been judged and stereotyped. And, you know, it isn't until he meets Akeem who tells him, you are the heir to the most luxurious, wealthy throne in the country, in the world for that matter. Come with me to Africa. And, you know, I go. And it's a fish out of water story, you know, it's a fish out of water story. And it feels like, one, I think a lot of people who've been in that position can truly relate to that feeling of not being, of belonging. Like they don't feel like they belong somewhere, you know?
Right.
I think Lavelle's always felt like he didn't belong anywhere, you know, until he gets to Zamunda and really starts to embrace what makes him him. And that's his family, that's Queens. And a lot of people try to hide from that, run away from that. They try to run away from what makes them them. The places that make them them. They want to, you know, code switch or, you know, try to acclimate. And it's like, you for a reason. You only you. So be you.
Right.
You know, and that's what he has to learn. So anyway, it's a beautiful story that I think everyone who's been in that position can see themselves in and appreciate. It's such a good story, man. And, you know, couldn't do it without the supporting cast of, like, you know, Sherry Headley and John Amos and Arsenio.
So excited that all of the old characters are coming back. So super excited.
Can't do a sequel without them. You can't. You see so many sequels get made these days and they suck because, like, they don't have the original people who made it there, you know, help build it. And we didn't have that case. Eddie was there, you know.
Everybody.
He was a captain, you know what I'm saying? And then we had Sherry, and we had John, we had Louis Anderson, we had, like, everyone came back. Everyone came back.
Right. Yes.
It wasn't
James Earl Jones.
James
Earl Jones. I'm like, oh my God, I would just be floored just to be in a room with him. So
everyone came back. Everyone came back. They knew it was at stake and we couldn't do it without him.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, I mean, you've already talked about how excited you are, how this moment feels to you. I mean, what would you want people to take away from this? Like, if after they watch it and they taking it all in and they laugh till their stomach hurts, you know, sometimes we laugh till we cry. At the end of the day, like, what do you want them to take away from this?
I want people to feel empowered when they see this movie. I want them to feel heard. There were so many from the I'm telling you, from the wardrobe, when you see it, from the wardrobe to the set design, you can tell how much care everyone took with this film. Even the way, even the performances, you look at Wesley and you see, like, Wesley in his element, really, like, getting the character and he's so meticulous about from the hair to his wardrobe. He was so amazing. And then Eddie getting into his zone when he's in character. And then Arsenio, like, we all wanted something truly special for this film. And when I see it, it all translates. Everything we wanted has translated, right? And so I want people to see that passion that we all had and feel empowered to go out, you know, chase their dreams, do something they've always wanted to do. Go travel, for that matter. Go experience a new country, a new world, something.
You know, stamp on that passport.
Definitely put a damn stamp on it. I'm dead serious. That's a fact. We have to do that more. And the world is bigger than America. You know what I'm saying? We got to get out. It's so much bigger. We're this big. We're this big. Go get out, man. Experience things. And on top of that, really embrace family. This is a family reunion. All of it's a family reunion. When people see this movie, they're going to feel a very warm, nostalgic feeling when they see Eddie reprise Randy Watson, Clarence, everybody, like Arsenio and like, everybody's coming back, and they give 110% to give the audience and the fans everything that made the first one so special. They're giving 110%, and people are going to appreciate that. So I just want people to feel empowered, and I want people to embrace their family, and I want people to embrace the people that love them. And, you know, that's exactly what this movie is. It's just a big ass family reunion.
Just a big fan. We love that. And we love you. I know you had, how incredible was it for you to actually work with Eddie Murphy, being a comedian yourself?
Yo, man, it was funny. Like, Eddie is my idol, dude. Like, my idol. And they say never meet your heroes, and meeting Eddie was beyond my expectations, man. The dude is just so cool and so smart, and, like, he just knows, he has such a vision for everything, man. and watching him work was just beautiful. He's
Yes.
also the reason I wanted to act, period, you know?
Right.
Yeah, he's...
So such an amazing dream come true for you to have this
it,
moment, right?
It is. And then just
Yes.
now, before I talked to y'all, Eddie told me, you did a great job in the movie, Jermaine. I was like, oh, like
Wow.
just like kind of floored a little bit. I had to take a break, a little, you know, walk away. It was such a great feeling to just work with him, just the
Yeah.
man himself. And also, it's also kind of cool to know that we're kind of into the same stuff as far as
Right.
like our appreciation for Richard Pryor and, you know, Bruce Lee movies and Charlie Chaplin and all these things. I'm like, wow, dude, just so, his brain is just so interesting, and the way it works is so fascinating. And
Got you.
I learned a lot watching him work.
Yes, and you get to walk in his footsteps. So I'm so super excited for you. Again, such an honor and a privilege to talk to you. You know, I get to sit with you, you know, in events, but I'm saying talking to you right now about this is major for you. I'm so super excited for you. I was like, oh my gosh, my boy Jermaine, he's got this moment. I'm so happy for you. Can't wait to see it. Can't wait to check that out. Thank you so much for taking your time to talk with us today. You stay blessed and keep grinding.
I will, Asia. You too. I appreciate it. Anytime you want to talk, just let me know. I'm around. You're amazing. So stay safe.
Thank you.
Yeah, anytime, man. It's been a pleasure.
I'm giving you virtual hugs. You know, it's
too,
COVID.
man.
So got this right here.
Yeah, this feels like how you would hug me. This is it, right? This is how you would hug me, right?
Right here. All of this. All right, babe. Stay blessed. And we'll talk soon.
You too.
All right.
Peace.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining our National Black Movie Day celebration. I hope you've had as much fun as we've had. A very special thank you goes to the Coming to America cast members who joined us tonight, Arsenio Hall and Jermaine Fowler, and a very special thank you also to the Radio 1 hosts of the evening, Russ Parr and Asia. And if you are a Black movie lover and you want to join a community of people who want to uplift Black stories and culture on screen, join the National Black Movie Association. You can follow us on Instagram and on Facebook at National Black Movie Day and on Twitter at Black Movie Day. And you can also visit our website to stay up to date on information for next year's National Black Movie Day celebration at blackmovieassociation.org. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next year.